Okay, NK Telco Sports welcomes you to our coverage of high school soccer when the Delphos St. John's Blue Jays take on the Botkins Trojans. Tonight's game is brought to you by the following sponsors: First National Bank, Keyhole Pizza, Precision Strip, Winners Meats, and NK Telco. We welcome you here to Botkins Community Park. And Michael Laws, along with Jeremy Plyman, will bring you all the action here as the Delphos St. John's Blue Jays take on the Botkins Trojans. That work? Avery Coleman, number 7. Kennedy Sterling, a midfielder, number 10. Lillian Grothaus, number 11. Kirsten Jackson, number 13. Ava Hershey, number 14. Kirsten Klaus, number 15. Emily Burnett. Their coach is Emma Pullman, and Carly Inkerman will assist her. The Trojans will start us off. Chloe Pax. Number 10, Sophie Brown. Taylor Hillscamp, number 13. Grace Wiseman, number 16. Nora Holman, number 17. Madeline Young. Lady Munger will. Megan McFerrin will start. Leah Monin, number 6. Audrey Top, the midfielder. And then Paul, the captain, number 9. Elena Pitts, number 12. Addison Blindauer, number 14. Ava Woodruff, number 15. Lily Bayless, a defender. Number 20, Melena Monin, a defender. And Zoe Longbright on the midfield defense, and they are coached by Pat Murphy in his 3rd season. We will stand for the national anthem. We'll be back with you here, first half action here on NK Telco Sports. All right, we're about ready to get started here. Now we'll lead us to the keys to the game, brought to you by Keyhole Pizza. And we'll go to you, Jeremy, and talk with Emma Coach Pullman here with Delphos St. John's. Currently 1-1-1 in WOSL and their keys.
She brings her team in at 5-3-4 overall, and her 3 keys to the game was defense, pressure on their strikers to prevent counterattacks. She wants their team to mid-attacking in the middle, to attack the space, to draw out their defenders and open up for some through balls, and then have their strikers improving on quicker shots and finding the corners of the goal.
All right, and for Botkins, currently right now it's 6-5-1 in their record, and Coach Pat Murphy.
He wants them to shoot from outside attack, their outside backs, contain their athleticism, and keep their forward and mids in front of our back line, and have fun with it and play angry.
Yes, that's Coach Pat Murphy, and they're currently 4-1 in their conference. And it looks like Botkins will be kicking going north to south. Our referees today are Jeff Hilvers and Aaron Bump, and we are off to go as the First National Bank scoreboard is running with 40 minutes on the clock, and off we go. So number 9, it's Camden Paul, trying to switch over and trying to switch fields here. Now Botkins on the attack, trying to play the ball through into the middle. The D can't quite find the footing there. Here, a little wet, starting to rain here at Botkins Community Park, so we get a little bit slick.
The girls in pink shirts tonight instead of their traditional black, promoting breast cancer awareness.
That's a great cause, great to hear, and for unfortunate reasons I hear, but I'm glad they're getting the support. One of their own suffering, unfortunately, is what I've been hearing there. So
one of the community members, Amy Gruey, is suffering from breast cancer awareness, and both teams have sold T-shirts for tonight's game and stuff like that, and proceeds from that and donations will go to her and her family as they continue to battle this terrible disease.
Yeah, absolutely. No, great cause and great support here, and especially here getting ready, coming on the month of October, which I believe is normally Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so I'm glad they were able to get that cause in here. So Botkins trying to play it out and taken over by the Blue Jays. Trying to find control, trying to cross into the middle, but crossed out. And touched by Delphos, and it will be over the far touchline for a throw-in for Botkins. Gonna be a little bit tough here today, especially with the wet ball on the throw-in. Might not go exactly the way they maybe intended it, especially, but I'm sure they'll hopefully adjust throughout the game. Not a lot of towels being used, so the ball probably will stay wet, and multiple balls being used here. And ball through here by St. John's, trying to pressure, had to be cleared out there by Botkins, and that'll put it on the far touchline. About 20 yards from goal, probably even with the 18, and that will get a throw in here for St. John's. Again, as Jeremy mentioned, 3-game losing streak. St. John's really trying to find their footing here and trying to get some momentum here going in here as the draw for the tournaments here coming up here very, very shortly. So you definitely want to have a good impression, get a good true impression of what you're going to be getting here into your sectionals and regionals. Now play ball through, diagonal ball, trying to beat her one-on-one, but St. John's coming up, tackling that, and we'll play that. Will it stay in? It will stay in. Playing on the byline, number 8. Cross in there for
Camden Paul.
Yeah, Camden Paul, excuse me, number 9. I apologize for that. Nice cross in by Camden Paul. Brought in and the save, and be punted out by St. John's and their goalkeeper.
Coach Pullman had to be happy with those first couple minutes. She talked in some of her keys to the game when we talked to her to be on attack, have her team on attack, and they were on attack, and they had the Trojans playing a lot of defense those first couple minutes.
Absolutely. The Trojans were definitely back on their heels there. So St. John's, hopefully they can be able to stain that here. We're at 36-22 and rolling here on the First National Bank scoreboard. Still 0-0. Glad to be with you here. Michael Laws along Jeremy Plyman. We do have a push, and that will bring the first foul of our game against Botkins. Only Bayless there on the push against the Trojans. And that will set up a free kick here for Delphos. So taking that here from the far right side. Number 10, Kennedy Sterling, the junior. Cross in, hit nice off the thigh, and handled easily by Botkins to be able to come out. And he loses it. And they find control. They will.
Melena Monin with a little steal right there.
He's trying to find Allison Blindauer. Couldn't find her. Now we got some open space here on the right side.
Kinley Top up the sideline.
Trying to play it through. Finds her. Chest down. Going across the goal. Ooh, couldn't quite get a hold of that. And a nice shot. Again, the first quality shot of the game. Unfortunately, I got a little caught in the grass there. And Eva Vonderwell coming up with the save here for Delphos. Playing it out. Delphos trying to control the midfield. Play the ball through and gets the run through. And referee trying to look to play advantage, but we did have a grab. Looks like Lily Bayless again on that one on the foul. Grabbing that, and that'll again be Kennedy Sterling for St. John's here in a kind of a dangerous spot, probably about 35 yards away here. Crosses into the area, headed, but St. John's gets a hold of it, but nice save there Delaney Manger coming up with the save. St. John's, as you mentioned, Jeremy, threatening early here with a couple of good chances there and a nice shot there that Manger had to come up with.
Been a lot of time on the Botkins side here, and like you said, the Blue Jays are on attack, and they're on it after it again.
Really pressuring Botkins, trying to put them on their back heels here, and certainly St. John's got to be relatively pleased here in about the first 5-6 minutes here. 34-04 and rolling here. First National Bank scoreboard. Still 0-0 here. Glad to be with you. Botkins Community Park here in Botkins, right adjacent to Botkins High School. Soccer and track facility. Beautiful facility here. And we have a great WOSL matchup here between the Blue Jays and the Trojans. Going over the top. Tracking it down will be Botkins first, and coming up with it, playing it out, and we'll be able to control midfield.
Melina Monin.
Monin playing it over. Finds the left wing, and now they'll find a crossing ball, and it had to be played out.
That's one thing Coach Patrick Murphy has said numerous times. They'd love to get that on the run out there to Camden Paul and use her speed on one side and Addison Blendauer in the middle.
Yep, nice ball in there. And Paul trying to get that from Melina Monin, as you had mentioned. But taken away here by St. John's. They're trying to find their way through the middle. Crossover into the circle. Trying to play the ball through. Is onside. We'll play through and cleared out there by Botkins defense.
Aaliyah Monin's been real active back there. She cleared that one out. She's been active for the Trojans on defense, and I think Coach Murphy would love to see them get into attack mode here offensively, but Delphos St. John's doing a great job keeping it on their end of the field here.
Absolutely, and it looks like, do we have a deflection? I think it did go off of St. John's there, so that will have a goal kick there for Botkins. So. Again, 32-13 here and rolling here. First National Bank scoreboard. No score. Glad you're with us. Michael Laws, along Jeremy Plyman here. Beautiful, a little bit rainy, but still nice and weather-wise, at least not freezing. So.
Yeah, exactly. You never know what we're going to get. It could change here in a couple days.
Yeah, it can change in about any time here in Ohio here, especially in West Central Ohio.
I think the fans and the soccer players here would love to get this game in without a bunch of rain, and I think Coach Gutman and cross-country teams would like to get through the weekend. They got their big Best in the West Invitational here with 25 schools coming in on Saturday, and
wow,
we've seen that all set up around the park here, Michael, when we pulled in. So I'm sure they'd like to not have this as a mud pit come Saturday.
Monin coming through, cutting to across the left, find it, goal!
Addison Blendauer.
Addison Blendauer off the cross from Melina Monin. 31-20 here remaining here in the first half, and Botkins finds the first goal of the game off a great play, driving that end line there, and a nice cross going across the front and put the Trojans up 1-0.
That's one thing about this Trojan team here. They strike when they come at you in a hurry, and that right there, as Addison Blendauer is coming down the middle, like you said, Melina Monin, great pass, finding her in the middle there.
Great crossover and being able to bring that over and driving that, trying to draw that defense out and really causing some chaos there and getting the Trojans up 1-0. So controlling this and getting the lead here and now looking for more.
That's Addison Blendauer's 8th goal of the year to go along with her 9 assists.
Great work from her, and to be able to get Botkins here on this in this breast cancer awareness game, as they are wearing pink, as you had mentioned earlier, and I'll need to have a great cause.
Got a lot of these students in class and in school here, and it's kind of hard to tell. They've all painted their hair pink and red also, so it's trying to figure out who's who out there a little bit from a ways away. It's a little difficult, Michael. I'd love to try to help you out a little bit more.
I know I'm a little older. My eyesight's not quite as good as it used to be, so especially with some of the numbers, we do the best we can here, but hopefully Enjoy it nonetheless. And a nice clear out there by Botkins. And that will bring St. John's with a throw in front of the Botkins bench. At 30-11 left here and rolling here first half. Again, Botkins up 1-0 here on the First National Bank scoreboard on the goal by Elena Blindauer. The cross from Elena Monin. And that is our difference here so far here in this Western Ohio Soccer League contest. And Botkins looking for more, trying to cross it around the midfield, playing it into the nice one-touch play. Unfortunately, could not find the handle. Maybe it was still a little slippery, a little bit of rain. It is not raining at this moment. Trying to play through, and Vonderwell had to pay attention there and be able to get that, and we'll take the punt.
The strikers out there for Botkins got a lot of speed in them. Camden Paul, she's a regional qualifier in track and field. Addison Blendauer, a state All-Ohioan in track, so a lot of speed. When they get rolling downhill, they're going in a hurry.
They're going to show it here.
And here it comes, back and forth.
Playing it across, and score! Great 1-2 play, and now Botkins up 2-0. 29:09 here remaining in the first half, and that'll put the Trojans up 2-0 off a great 1-2 connection there by Botkins. Be able to play that right through, going right on the right foot, being able to go far post and be able to put that away.
Addison Blendauer now with 2 of them. One on that assist come from Camden Paul. Almost a little give and go action there from him.
Absolutely, playing it right into the midfield and playing right onto Blendauer's right foot. And currently has 2 goals here in 11 minutes. And it brings our score to 2-0 here on the First National Bank scoreboard. 29 minutes remaining here, even here on the First National Bank scoreboard. And 2-0 in favor of the Botkins Trojans. Some early pressure there from Delphos, but Botkins has been able to answer. And currently in the lead here, 2-0.
Delphos probably has a time of possession, a little bit more time of possession than the Trojans do, because they've scored in quite a hurry once they've got it and got on attack.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. I mean, they definitely had controlled it there probably about the first 5-6 minutes and was really penetrating. But now Botkins pretty much kind of in control there. Blendauer trying to find it again, trying to find it through.
Looking forward to this evening. We're going to have a talk with Ryland Paul for a couple minutes here in the first half of the girls' game. Our senior striker for the Botkins Trojans. And then during the boys' game in the first half, we'll bring up Reagan McFerrin, the defender, senior.
That's fantastic. Get to talk to them in a crossover and trying to find Blendauer for the third, actually, but could not find it on her left foot, and it will scurry over and will be a goal kick here for St. John's. And 27:47 remaining here in the first half. Botkins up 2-0 off 2 goals by Addison Blendauer. Goalkeeper out, but Botkins will control off the head, trying to drive the byline.
That's Taylor Holzkamp into the game now.
Checked in. That'll be the first substitution of our game. Botkins trying to keep it in. They will. Trying to cross over, trying to cut through a couple of defenders, able to find it on her feet. Can she turn? She does. Left foot blocked. Blendauer again, this time on the left foot, just lost the footing there a little bit. Didn't get quite a lot of power on there, and very easy for Vonderwell.
That was a nice center there by Zoe Longbreak, was on the outside there and found Camden Paul in the middle, and then she looked for Dee Pitts right there in the middle.
She was able to find that through and be able to got it through 4 defenders and found the feet of one of her forwards there, playing it wide and going to find Blendauer again. Or excuse me, that was Monin. I apologize. Playing it through. Oh, Vonderwell had to come out. Trying to look like Camden Paul. Trying to get on the end of that one from Monin. And ball skips up, and hand was in an unnatural position, so that will be a handling infraction and a foul against St. John's. I'll get a free kick here from about 50 yards away. Pretty close to about 120 here as far as the length of the field here at Botkins. Play it in. Gets through a little bit of everybody. Shoulder, and we're good there. Monin will try to cross it over to the right, and it will trickle through with no touch on there, and that will go over the goal line, and that will bring up a goal kick here for Delphos. So we have, or excuse me, for St. John's. 25:40 remaining here. We'll have a couple of substitutions here for, actually 2 for Botkins and 2 for Delphos St. John's here as our first massive substitution here of the game. So again, 25-28 and rolling here. First half, First National Bank scoreboard 2-0 in favor of the Botkins Trojans. Michael Laws along here, Jeremy Plyman bringing you some WOSL OHSA soccer. Glad to get in here to the close to the end. Nice left foot and handled by Vonderwell. Nice shot there.
D.D. Pitts in the middle.
I was going to say Delaney Pitts, one of the captains there, the junior.
Into the ball game now for the Trojans. Those last 2 check-ins, Sophia Brown and who I missed the other one. Sophia Brown, was 1.
Hopefully we'll pick that up here and fill you in. Yeah, unfortunately with our distance here, a little bit harder, especially with the jerseys, to be able to read, but we do the best we can.
Number 2, Chloe Pack. She's got it right now.
There you go. And she'll try to play it through, but St. John's will play it, trying to find the handle there. A little bit of lost possession from both teams, but St. John's will have it and try to drive the left side. On the left wing, trying to play it through. We'll find her, and plays that through, but that will bring up an offside. And that will give the ball back to the Trojans there. Those not familiar with offside and can't not be behind the second to last defender. And the goalkeeper does count as a defender. So referee ruled that as such, and that will bring a halt to play there. St. John's trying to play it through. Has an opening 2-on-2. Goalkeeper coming out. And that's Manger. Delaney Manger coming out, having to handle that. The sophomore goalkeeper.
This could be trouble for Delphos right there.
Trying to play those wings, attacking that right side. They've done that on 2 occasions. One and leading to a goal. I have to play that out. So 23-11 here, rolling first half, 2-0 favor of the Botkins. Plays across.
Melina Monin tried to play that one out of the air there.
Yeah, trying to get that off her right foot. She will try to cross it in. And the foot of Delana Pitts. Sun's starting to brighten up. Try to warm things up here a little bit. After a little bit of drizzle and rain here as we got started.
Probably got a little lucky tonight, Michael. Just about a mile and a half down the road, it was pouring on my way here.
Oh, hit off the grass, off the frame was Camden Paul. Right off the right corner. He could not find that. Almost found that upper corner to make this 3-0. Great shot there on the right foot from the captain.
With 95 in her career, she's probably got that inside the corner a couple more times than she has hit the corner.
Absolutely, and you got the rounded posts here, so you definitely get a little bit of the luck of the Irish, unfortunately, but unfortunately on that one did not quite bounce the way the Botkins wanted it, and we'll stay 2-0. Going through, we'll find Melina Monin on her left. Goes to her right, tries to play it through, could not find it. Congestion there found by St. John's, and they will try to play it through.
This is what Coach Pullman was talking about. She wants to get her kids on attack, or get her ladies on attack a little bit more. Trojans are going to get it going the other way again.
Yeah, that's been St. John's, like you had mentioned, about the first 5 minutes was really kind of pressuring, and then it's been pretty much all Botkins after that. Now trying to play the right side. Off the right, cross. Vonderhall with the save. That Camden Paul again on that shot.
Vanderwall is doing a pretty good job back here as the goalie right now. The Trojans are taking some good shots at her that are fairly open at times.
Been very busy. Could not on that one cross from Monin that found Blindauer on her first goal. It couldn't really do anything about that, but just had to come up with some athletic saves here, as you had mentioned, Jeremy. 20:43 here enrolling. First National Bank scoreboard. Glad you're with us. 2-0 in favor of the Trojans. Both goals coming from Addison Blindauer. Here on Breast Cancer Awareness Day here for the Trojans, and substitution here for Delphos St. John's. I should say Delphos St. John's. I always forget there's a Delphos Jefferson. I can't say just Delphos. I apologize for that. So it is Delphos St. John's here, trying to cross over. Find Monin. Almost found her, and Von der Hall had to come up with that.
There's been just a couple times the Trojans have just missed that little opportunity right there. They're putting a lot of pressure on Delphos St. John's here.
Yeah, Vonderwell having to be busy. Rides up, we'll be able to keep that. And it looks like we got contact, and we do. Foul goes again. Delana Pitts was the one fouled. And we'll have a free kick here out of the back. Looks like I believe Aaliyah Monin this time. A sophomore defender. We'll put it in with the right foot. Cross over and find it. Bounces around. No, but cleared out by St. John's. And will be over the touch line. And now we'll bring in a throw in inside the area for Botkins. Play it out. Trying to cross over. And trying to find it, and they cannot find the handle, especially, I think, probably still a little bit wet.
We saw Chloe Pax just slip there a little bit ago in the middle of the field there, kind of uncontested. So like you said there, Michael, it is just a little bit wet. Chloe takes a shot at the corner there.
Yeah, nice shot there by Chloe Pax, the senior midfielder. First time we've had her at least involved in the attack. And Vonderwell having to come up big there for St. John's. Just keeping it on the byline, and St. John's will keep it in. Attack, and Botkins had the numbers back. Controlling, and back comes the defense and playing it up. It's like Delana Pitts trying to find Monin. Monin trying to play it through. Got two runners. Beats it and scores! And both looked like Camden Paul was also there, but the finisher,
Addison
Blindauer, and now has 3 goals and the hat trick.
It's Milena Monin again, finding another assist there as she found Blindauer through the middle. She did have options. You're right, Michael. Camden Paul could have picked that off also. She left it go through to Addison Blindauer, and Addison had a great look at it.
Yeah. It's really unfortunate that the Blindauer parents are right in front of me, and both of their hats are still on, but that's okay. That's neither here nor there. So, but great work for Addison Blindauer to have the hat trick and already having 3 goals here and attacking and looking for more here. 17:40 and rolling here on the First National Bank scoreboard. It is currently 3-0 in favor of the Botkins Trojans on 3 goals by Addison Blindauer.
We'll be getting ready to get Rylan Paul on here in just a couple minutes and talk to Rylan for just a few minutes about their season so far and his career as a Botkins Trojans in soccer and where he's going after this.
That'll be fine. That'll be no problem. We'll get here one stoppage here. We'll get this free kick in, and then we'll bring in Mr. Paul here. So free kick here for for St. John's, trying to play through. Skips through, and then St. John's will try to loop it over, but need out.
D.D. Pitts will take that.
Takes that out. That will be Delana Pitts playing it over, trying to play it through, trying to find that, and that will go out of bounds, and that will be a Botkins throw-in. So we will go ahead and turn it over and let Mr. Paul come on in here into the booth. I'm glad to have you with us.
Trojans turn it over. Delphos St. John's on the attack. And the Trojans will kick it out of bounds. Rylan, how you doing this evening?
Pretty good, pretty good. What about you?
Oh, not too bad. Looking forward to having you here today.
Yep.
Nice day out. You guys will take on Temple Christian after this, the Pioneers, in WSL play. You guys are 3-1 in WSL play, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's some of your, we talked to your coach some of the keys tonight, and he talked about being on the attack, kind of similar to what the girls are, you know, be on the attack and be aggressive out there and have fun and keep the energy level high. Those are some things he talked about playing for you guys, right?
Yeah, I mean, offensively, we got to get a few goals right to start, and then we can relax a bit and slowly progress in the game. As the game goes, we need to keep the energy and not get worn down, and if people get down, we got to cheer them up and get that energy back.
As Addison Blendauer tries to find Camden Paul in the middle there. We talked about, you know, as we go through this, and this is your senior year here, and you started off, you were a freshman when Zane was here, right?
Yep.
That's a lot of great fun playing with your brother, and now you're all the way to the other end. What's one of your most memorable moments?
It'd probably freshman year, Brendan having a golden goal to move on to the regional semis, I believe it was. It was an exciting moment for the whole team. It's a memorable one.
That's for sure. That was, I remember being there. That weather was not very nice that day, was it?
No, it was not. I specifically remember being so cold that as soon as I got off the field, I put a huge jacket on.
And it was wet that day, too. So,
oh, yeah.
What would you consider one of your greatest accomplishments as a team? You know, outside of that, obviously, probably the reaching the regional finals there and stuff like that. But what about your individual goals?
I mean, being league, I was first team league past few years, 3 years, I believe it was. But, I mean, individually, I mean, those were, but team-wise, I mean, we've won league 2 years and hopefully third this year. But it's team game, and I was always taught to be a team game, team sport. So, I mean, going to district finals last year was probably something huge, and then going regionals, like you said, was also huge.
Where'd your love of soccer come from? You play soccer, you play basketball, right?
Yep.
And I know there's some conversation to trying to get you on the track here later on in the spring too. Shout out to Coach Gutman there and Coach Arnold, you know.
Yep.
Where'd your love of soccer come from?
I mean, it probably goes all the way back to my uncle. I mean, he played soccer when he was young, and he brought it to us kids, and then Zane played it, and seeing your older brother play such a sport and have so much fun, it just, I guess it planted a seed in my youth, and then I just grew to love the sport.
And your sister was a real good player herself, and Zane, you talked about him. He's a junior. He's up at Heidelberg playing there for the Student Princes as Camden Paul centers it up there. Cleared out by Delphos St. John's. What's the hardest thing about soccer?
I mean, goal would be the obvious answer here. I mean, you don't see them too often, but I mean, combining as a team between 3 or 4 people to just achieve that is probably one of the harder things, I'd say. I mean, everybody's got to be on pace. Everybody's got to have that chemistry with each other. It's amazing when it happens, and it's beautiful too.
You know, we've talked about, you know, in the past year, your individual goals for, you know, your things that you've accomplished and stuff like that, and individual and team goals. And, you know, those are things that a lot of times we sometimes keep in house. And, you know, like you said, though, probably looking to try to get to district finals again.
Yeah, hopefully. That'd be huge this year. I mean, moving on in any tournament sports-wise, districts is an accomplishment in itself. I mean, obviously the goal is state, but you got to work it one step at a time. So districts is the goal right now.
I think anytime you're in those kind of situations, districts is a goal, and then after that, after that's icing on the cake. Because, you know, sometimes those lower at the beginning of the tournament, you're better than those teams, but you also have to get lucky at times.
Yeah.
And you know, Lady Luck has to be on your side. And if it's not, you know, we watched that when I believe your Zane was, a junior there, and they had, was that Marymount bounced 8 or 9 of them off the goalpost.
Yeah, that was...
What did we take, 2 shots that night?
Yeah, and I mean, luck is a huge part. I mean, skill and luck are probably the 2 things that come in play. But, yeah, luck was definitely on that side. I remember being there and seeing that final goal and just being amazed how somehow we pulled it to go to state that year.
As we watched Delaney Munger, your cousin, in goal back here for the Lady Trojans, just get a save right there and punt it out. College in your future?
Yeah, plan on going for engineering is the hope, electrical to be specific. Not certain at what exact college, but hoping to find one soon.
Well, good. You'll get your opportunity here, and like you said, probably somewhere between soccer season and basketball season, you'll probably try to make some trips there and stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of weird right now because you don't want to miss too many practices. Given close, that tournament is actually close to, I think, 2-3 weeks away.
Yep.
So, I mean, you got to find that gray area in between the two sports to start visiting colleges and such.
Well, that's a good deal, Rylan. We've enjoyed having you up here. Good luck this evening. And, nice thing that you guys are doing here, breast cancer awareness, selling T-shirts and stuff like that. You guys have been doing things like this almost every year, don't you?
Yeah, I believe freshman year we did leukemia. I think we did Down syndrome. And then last year we did veterans. So, yeah, it's something we do every year. Girls get with it. And we raise usually a good amount of money to go towards the proceeds.
That's great. That's great. Well, we've been visiting with Rylan Paul here at about the 10:22 mark here in the first half. Trojans are up 3-0. We want to thank Rylan for joining us up here in the booth tonight.
Great to be here. Great to be here.
Good luck this evening as you take on Temple Christian, Rylan.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you.
The Blue Jays on attack there. Trojans have now cleared it out. Aubrey top, trying to find Camden Paul in the middle.
And we had some contact there, but unfortunately, no foul called. So back comes St. John's, trying to attacking 3-on-4, trying to go through. Played through, shot. Ava Hershey. And find it through, but coming up with that. Delaney later Monger. Been a little bit busy tonight, but not as busy as Monderwell there for the Blue Jays. Playing it through, and looks like we got some contact, and we do have a foul. Trying to play that through.
That was a good ball there, pushed ahead by Grace Wiseman, the senior. She's now into the game as a substitute.
Yeah. Senior, looks like probably playing midfield. She'll play it back, and looks like the free kick looks like Aaliyah Monin, I believe, will be playing this into the area here. 8:38 to go here on the First National Bank scoreboard. 3-0 here in favor of Botkins, looking for more. On the right foot, and just wide there by
Grace
Botkins. Grace Monin, excuse me, yes, Grace Weissman, sorry about that. Grace Weissman on the right foot, trying to find that far post, and just a little wide here. But Botkins still attacking and still trying to find their way here, and still looking for more here, but right now in control, 3-0 on 3 goals by Allison Blindauer. The hat trick already here. 7:52 here and rolling here first half. The Botkins Trojans on top 3-0 here over the Delphos St. John's Blue Jays.
Trojans had about a 10-minute blitz where it seemed like they were really putting a lot of pressure on Delphos St. John's and taking shots at the goal.
Going through, and looked like, was it played out? It was. Had a nice attack there from St. John's. Had to come up with a stop there, as that was probably one of the most dangerous attacks there from St. John's tonight. Like Emily Burnett, number 20 on that, on the trying to get that on her left foot. The junior midfielder playing it in, crosses. It was an outswinger, and found the goal mouth, but unfortunately no Blue Jays there to finish it. And now Botkins back on the counter attack, 3-on-3. Played it through. Paul trying to find Delena Pitts. And he'll find like Paul It's Aubrey Top over the top of the crossbar, still in. Hit the frame and stayed in the game, and stayed in the field of play, and now back comes St. John's. Attacking basically three on four. Crossing in front. But Manger had being able to come up with that and foil that attack. Probably the second best opportunity there for St. John's. And Delaney Monger, coming up with that. We find Aubrey Top. Up to Paul. Paul crossing over. Looks like Blindauer again on the right side. Crosses over, finds. Oh, very unfortunate there. Tried to find Camden Paul there on the finish. Couldn't quite get that. Got it on her thigh, but could not quite get it on her foot and being able to put that onto the frame. So here, 5:30 to go here, first half. Here on the First National Bank scoreboard, 3-0 in favor of the Botkins Trojans.
Melina Monin has switched side. She's now on the far side.
Kind of mix that up. Sometimes coaches like to do that, especially dominant players on certain foots. And a nice shot there on the right, and that was
Grace Weissman.
Grace Weissman coming in, a substitute, finding her. It looks like we did have a deflection, and it looks like it will be a corner kick here for Botkins. Evidently, the defender must have got a piece of it. Ruled the referee there. So it looks like we'll have an outswinger here from Aaliyah Is that Aaliyah Monin?
I believe that's kicking it in is going to be Camden Paul.
Oh, Camden Paul. I apologize. Yeah. So Camden Paul will take this, and looks like it will be an in-swinger here. And we did have a substitute for Botkins. They didn't need to wait for the whistle here, as there was a substitution coming in. And Paul will swing it in. In-swinger finds the head off of the St. John's player and off the goal frame. And Vonderwell, with the luck of the post and a little bit of deflection from one of her defenders, to be able to keep that out of the net and keep it 3-0.
Great setup there by the Trojans. Camden Paul found Aaliyah Monin in the middle, and she had an opportunity for the header and took it, and just great defense by the Delphos St. John's.
Paul will play that in. It's like Aubrey trying to find Aubrey Top, and she will take the throw in here for Botkins. Played back to Top. Be crossed in. That was Addison Blindauer. Bounces. Vonderwell had to kind of swallow that up a little bit.
Dee Pitts with her third shot on goal tonight.
Looked like Addison Blindauer was knocking on the door and looking for number 4.
Yeah, I thought she was going to pull the trigger there when she come across there with the right foot, and she passed it over to Dee and let Dee try to take one from the middle.
Yeah, almost was able to get that off the rebound, off of the play off the goalkeeper. We have 3 minutes exactly here rolling here on the First National Bank scoreboard. 3-0 here in favor of the Botkins Trojans. 3 goals here by Addison Blindauer to put the Trojans up here on this cancer awareness game that they have. It looks like we have a foul on the Trojans, and looks like we will have at least a talking to, and we'll have a timeout, and the timeout's brought to you by Precision Strip. And looks like we'll have a talking to, and we will have a caution. Looks like Delaney Pitts, I believe.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, Delaney Pitts there. The caution was for delaying the restart. Basically, when the whistle blows, you pretty much got to leave the ball alone, and she decided to keep going with that. So, referee seeing that. So 2:36 to go here. Timeout here brought to you by our friends at Precision Strip. So we have 2:36 remaining here. Clock is stopped. Looking for an explanation was Coach Murphy. having a conversation with the near side official. And then it'll be played in here by St. John's. And it looks like we had some contact against St. John's. And that was played in, and that will be going out. And it looks like it'll be a free kick here for Botkins here. 2:22 to go here and rolling. They're on the First National Bank scoreboard. Again, 3-0 in favor of the Trojans. And with this free kick, looks like a Liam Monin will play through, but unfortunately St. John's will come up with that. Playing it through and trying to get through. Almost like Monger will come out and she will handle that. No issue. And a punt. And find midfield, actually. Trying to find Blindauer. She'll keep it in on the touchline, trying to beat her one-on-one. Get some pressure from a St. John's player, playing it out. That will stay in play, and St. John's will turn it around and go back 3-on-4. Numbers have been getting back here for Botkins. They've been able to meet St. John's attack here pretty well, but they are going to try to attack here on the right side.
Yeah, like you said, Michael, the Blue Jays have had a couple runouts with it where they possibly did have numbers in their advantage, just unable to score. The Trojans have been able to get a foot on it, get a kick on it, and work it back the other way.
Trying to find forward there, Kirsten Jackson there for St. John's, but unfortunately could not keep it in. Aubrey Top will play it through, and she'll find Paul. Back to Top. Top will try to go back to Paul. Paul gets the block, but unfortunately could not keep it in bounds. And that will be a throw in there for St. John's. We got 45 seconds remaining here in the first half here on the First National Bank scoreboard. Again, 3-0 here in favor of the Botkins Trojans. 3 goals there from Addison Blindauer. That is our difference right now. Played by Aubrey Top, trying to go into the area. She'll win it back. The Delaney Pitts coming back after the caution. Plays it through on her left, trying to find her left foot. Will go back to her right, try to swing it around. Couldn't quite find it through. Blocked by a defender. That's Paul. Paul will go top of the area and threw it over and goal. What a tremendous right foot over the head of Vanderwall, and the captain, Camden Paul, the senior, with her first goal tonight.
8 seconds left in the half here, Michael, and has a great ball right there. She was very patient, and she went up top shelf a little bit.
Absolutely, had plenty of time, had plenty of goal to look at there. And as you mentioned, 8 seconds here remaining, and that will pretty much end the half. Clock started a little bit late, but I don't think it will make much difference. 3, 2, 1. And 0, and that will put us in the books. We have 40 minutes in the books here at Botkins Community Park, and it has been all Botkins Trojans here in the first half. Score of 4-0, 3 goals from Addison Blindauer, and with 8 seconds remaining, a goal from Camden Paul makes it 4-0 in favor of the Botkins Trojans. And we will be back with the when halftime ends with second half action here on NK Telco Sports.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
Back to Botkins Community Park here as we're getting ready for second half action here of OHSAA soccer here from the Western Ohio Soccer League, and it has been the all Botkins Trojans here as the Botkins Trojans are leading the Delphos St. John's Blue Jays by a score of 4-0. And quick first half stats, let's go to Jeremy Plyman.
For the visiting Delphos St. John Blue Jays, they had 4 shots on goals, 3 fouls in that one, and 1 corner kick. And you know, Vanderwall played really well back here in goal. She had numerous times. She might be down 4-0, but had numerous good saves.
Absolutely.
For the Botkins Trojans, the home team here tonight, they had 4 goals on 14 shots, 3 assists. They took 3 fouls and 2 corner kicks. They had goals at the 31:20 mark, the 29:09 mark, the 18-minute mark, and then Camden Paul finished it with 8 at the 8-second mark there in the first half to give the Botkins Trojans a 4-0 lead here at the complex.
Yep, the first 3 goals there by Addison Blendauer there for a hat trick. And of course, you had mentioned with 8 seconds remaining, Camden Paul to be able to bring the lead there to 4-0. We're off here in the second half, rolling here with a score of 4-0 in favor of the Botkins Trojans. Delaney Pitts with it on her, trying to play it to the left. Played through.
We talked about that in the first half there, Michael, that, you know, Delphos St. John's played really well. The Trojans had about a 10 to 12 minute blitz there where they really got after it. Other than that, Delphos St. John's was holding their own until about the last minute and a half to that first half again.
For sure. You know, it's not that just been kind of a lack of quality chances, and St. John's not being able to finish, not that they haven't had that. Aubrey Top was able to play it off the defender, and it'll be an out swinger here for Camden Paul here on the right foot, trying to find the top of the area. She does, turns to the left, in between top of the circles, Delaney Pitts trying to work it in off her right and trying to beat her on the dribble. Will take a shot left and through the legs of Vanderwall. I think still a little bit of slippery, and now Delaney Pitts will get on there with 38:41 remaining here in the second half, and now that will bring the score to 5-0 in favor of the Trojans.
Yeah, Vanderwall was set up just right. She just kind of let it go through the wickets a little bit.
Yeah, it didn't quite sit down. I think may have misjudged that, especially I think it's still a little bit wet. It did rain very, very briefly at the beginning of this contest, about 5 minutes or so, and it did, you know, at least, you know, wreak a little bit of havoc there. And it has not been it was never a hard rain or any that, but it just enough to kind of mess with things there for, you know, kind of make you think of there a little bit. And I think Vanderwell kind of misplayed that a little bit, and unfortunately, and went through the wickets, as you mentioned. Now 5-0 in favor of the Trojans. So we're 1 goal away from what we call our mercy rule, which is very similar to football, of the 30-point rule, and it is 6 goals here in OHSAA play for soccer. So we're 1 goal away from that, which would be a running clock through stoppages. I had a handling infraction there on St. John's, and Leah Monin will play it through. It looks like that went out of play. That will be over the goal line. That'll be a goal kick. So we got 37-30 and rolling here in the second half. 5-0 in favor of the Botkins Trojans. Michael Laws along with Jeremy Plyman here. Glad to have you with us here at Botkins Community Park, just right adjacent here to Botkins High School. Soccer and track facility here at Western Ohio Soccer League, which is the Premier Soccer Conference with the teams here, along with other conferences, PCL, WBL as well, but the WSL also having their share of good fortune here. Now play for Botkins. That's Delaney Pitts over the crossbar.
WSL is kind of the small school conference probably in the area. Wouldn't you call it that?
Yeah, it's basically just gives the teams a place to play.
Yep.
You know, that's really, you know, unfortunately some, you know, there's a couple of MAC schools that have it. Delphos St. John's being one of them, along with Coldwater here on the girls' side. At least gives them a place to play. You know, obviously not all the MAC schools have a conference, so this is a way for everybody to kind of get together and get some conference, conference awards, and it's Botkins here being part of that has been pretty dominant, especially on the boys' side, and here on the girls' side, starting to pick that up, start to get better. Now St. John's here on the attack, being able to beat the offside there, and they're coming in 3-on-3. Playing it through. It looks like Monger will have that and have no issue bringing that in. So be able to stifle that attack. I get a chance to give some shout out to some additional sponsors here for us. Carriage Works, Chiltex LLC, Sire Schwieterman, Dickman Supply, Elmwood Assisted Living, Hometown Opportunity, Helsman Automotive, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric, Minster Bank, New Knoxville Supply, SecureCom, St. Henry Bank, and WCSM Radio. So happy that they can come along here with us on the ride, help you bring you NK Telco's sports coverage here of OHSAA soccer.
You talked earlier, Michael, about Vanderwall mishandling maybe the wet ball, and we see a girl here and there slip a little bit. It's not like they're used to playing on a wet field. I mean, it's been almost 50 days since we got any rain.
Absolutely,
so,
yeah.
Whole different deal.
And a nice cross. St. John's will be able to beat the trap, but Monger will be able to come up with that. And this is also a footing thing as well, because usually, you know, when you get into some of the older, you know, and more of the professional level, the college level, they'll have different types of boots and shoes available to be able to deal with weather like this, usually, you know, going with the 6-studded cleat and things of that nature. But unfortunately here, the economics of the game, it's usually one pair of shoes. As the cross attempt there from Camden Paul.
Will they typically add another cleat and make them a little longer? Is that what it is?
Actually, what it is, they'll go less. Actually, there'll be 6-studded cleats. Usually, those are more of the wet, but you lose a little touch on the ball, but you gain footing there. So normally you'll see that more on the wet fields, as that type of, and it's more what they call the screw-in or the screw-in cleat if you're dealing with that. But of course, you know, most of these players, you know, with the expensive shoes and things of that nature, pretty much sticking with one pair of shoes. So definitely you get what you get and you don't throw a fit.
Well,
you just, you know, and you just have to deal with that. And, you know, a couple of players may be able to do that, but depending on if they play at a club level or not. But
if you listen to some of their parents, though, Michael, they don't need more than one smelly pair of
absolutely
cleats.
No, I'm not disagreeing. I am not disagreeing.
Makes it even worse.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I have a football and a hockey player at home, so I get it. I totally get the smell factor for sure. So I can definitely relate there for sure. So playing through here, St. John's trying to beat the trap, and they do, trying to get that through, but nice defensive play there. Or Botkins trying to play it through, but St. John's will keep it. Trying to beat the trap. Trying to beat her one-on-one.
That's senior Reagan McFerrin. We'll have her up here during the boys' game.
That was our first time mentioning her. Actually, captain, defender, senior defender, captain. First time mentioning her. We really haven't had to mention the defense very much here for Botkins. All that much. So yeah, we'll look forward to listening to Reagan here during our other broadcast that we'll have here. Looks like Delaney Pitts will come out, try to beat the trap, trying to find Paul. Yep.
Addison Blendauer.
Blendauer for number 4, and we got some contact. A couple of people down. Blendauer is going to stay down. See if she might be able to shake that off. We'll see. And that will bring a timeout. They're going to probably get her looked at. Timeout brought to you here by Precision Strip. We will have a player of the game brought to you by NK Telco. Jeremy and I will come up with that. Our clock is stopped at 32:07. Timeout here, 5-0 in favor of the Trojans of Botkins.
We enjoyed our time with Ryland Paul up here with us during first half. Enjoyed his view of tonight's game, their season so far, and their season going ahead.
Yeah, they're really looking good going into in really good spot to really dominate the WLSL again and really get a good, hopefully maybe a good run in the sectional and regional and district tournaments going forward here in a couple of weeks. The draw will be coming up pretty much starting October 16th. That's when it'll be started. Looks like Blindauer gets going to get some attention, and we'll be check out that leg. It looked like a lower leg. I think it was going in the tackle and the contact there.
Now the Trojans will play in the Southwest region, right?
Correct.
Them, Jackson Center and Fairlawn all in the WSL.
Yes.
The rest, a lot of the MAC schools will go to the Northwest, correct?
Yes, a lot of them. It's just really depending on the regional setup, and it's really where the schools are located, and we're kind of right in the middle between Northwest and Southwest here. Basically, Botkins, for the most part, with their trips, usually go south. Usually, as you mentioned, their trips usually go through Dayton, Cincinnati, where, as you mentioned, Delphos St. John's will make more of a trip up north and going more so towards Toledo when the tournament draws are coming out in their sectionals and regionals and districts, as those draws will come out. Those will come out probably, I believe, in about 10 days, actually, because this is technically 2.5 weeks remaining in the season right now, with games being able to start on Monday, October 16th is when the tournament is officially. I believe they can get something going on the 14th, depending on how big the region is, if they need the game, but I think most of them will start October 16th, that Monday or in that week, depending on how your draw goes.
And that's for the girls, right, Michael?
That is correct. That is both. Actually, they both will go at the same time for both boys and girls, not delayed like what you might see in basketball with that, kind of that 1 week delay of, between girls and boys basketball. So yeah, both boys and girls in soccer go at the same time.
So we're probably looking at tournament draw and tournament seeding this weekend.
We'll be probably looking at that next weekend, because they usually do that about 1 week remaining in the regular season, which will be, so most of those meetings will be happening on Sunday, a week from Sunday. This one here is we're here on a Thursday night, and we'll have one more week left, and then usually what happens is they'll know their opponents. They'll kind of know what their draw will remotely look like in that last week of the regular season. So, and go through their voting there. So Delaney Pitts going left and, trying to go to the left side, but could not find that and try to get that to that 6-goal mark. So we're at the 30-minute even mark here. It's now 5-0 in favor of the Botkins Trojans here on the First National Bank scoreboard. Glad to be with you. Michael Loss along with Jeremy Plyman. Glad to be here with you at Community Park here in Botkins, here at the Soccer and Track Complex. Beautiful complex. Some practicing going on with some club soccer going on over across the way. Some great ball fields right adjacent to us. Played out there by Ava Woodruff. First time gets to call her name tonight, playing that ball over for Botkins. I haven't really mentioned Botkins defense too much tonight. Really haven't had to.
No, we haven't had to call names like Reagan McFerrin and Zoe Longbreak and Ava Woodruff very often, because there's been a lot of action on the Botkins Trojan side of the field here.
They've been playing that. St. John's trying to go through. They got it. And then we do have some contact and a foul. Looks like we got something against. Looks like it's against Botkins. And we'll have a free kick going for St. John's. Not sure if they called that on Manger.
They called Munger for a touch there outside the box?
I don't know if it was a touch or not. I think it was more a contact. I think it was the trip. I don't think she touched it with her hands. But we do have a foul, and it will be a free kick. So it's a dangerous free kick here for Delphos St. John's. Trying to find the corner, and Manger came up. Delaney Munger was able to come up with that off the free kick. Looked like it was Ava Hershey taking that for Delphos St. John's off the right foot. Was kind of aiming far post, and Munger had to be there.
I think on that play earlier, it looked like Munger just got a little bit, she kind of lost track of where she was. She came all the way out of the box, and she kind of hesitated at the top of it. And then she was going to go down and almost looked like she was going to make a motion to pick it up.
Yeah, I believe the foul was a contact against the Botkins defender, I think. I don't think it was a handle infraction, because if you're going into a handle infraction, you might be talking about a card there just because of where that placement is. So I think they went with the I'm thinking, at least from my view here, I believe it was, they're calling the contact against the defender. So St. John's going to get a chance here, but they are caught offside. Both of those, trying to find Kirsten Jackson, and it looked like Ava Hershey and also Lauren Wiltsey as well, playing that through, were having a chance at that ball, but unfortunately could not get there, and was also ruled offside as well. So we're at 26-46 here and rolling here on the First National Bank scoreboard. And 5-0 in favor of Botkins, in favor of the Trojans. 3 goals by Addison Blindauer, goal by Camden Paul, and Delaney Pitts was our other goal scorer here in the second. 4 of those goals in the first half. The three first half goals by Blindauer, and a late 8 seconds remaining in the first half goal by Camden Paul. And then a second half tally there from Dee Pitts to be able to bring this lead to 5-0. So we are 1 goal away from what we call our mercy rule here in OHSAA play, which means the clock would run during normal stoppages, which would be cards and timeouts, and the only thing would be stopped for injury. They're going to find Camden Paul here on the right-hand side, trying to take on 2 defenders. Goes to the left foot.
Oh,
Vonderwall had to come up with that. Had to go near post. That was on her left foot, and felt that was the best option. And Vanderwall was up to the challenge.
Vanderwall, like we said, has played really well back there in goal for the Delphos St. John's. She's had 17 shots now at her, and she's only left 5 of them go, and some of them have been some wide open looks.
Absolutely, she's really had to be busy, and really a lot of breakdown from Botkins, and kind of going back to those keys of the game. Looks like they're playing a little bit angry, which is good. And they are shooting from outside and also attack. A lot of the goals have been outside. They had the couple inside from Blindauer, but Blindauer basically scoring from 18. Camden Paul scoring from outside the area, and same thing with the goal from Dee Pitts was outside the area. So shooting from outside, definitely going back to those. Key points, and I think Coach Murphy got to be very pleased that they've attacked those here in this game, I believe. So
the Trojans have had 2 corner kicks, and on both those they had opportunities too. Leah Monin had to header right in front.
Absolutely.
So he's got, like you said, going back to his keys of the game. You got to believe that his young Trojans have followed through on what they've talked about wanting to do.
So yeah, they've been moving the ball very, very well. We've had good attacks, great games. Paul's really been controlling things very, very well, getting a goal and being able to kind of stir the drink, along with Monin and also Dee Pitts. Trying to play it through, deflected. I believe it's going to be a throw-in. Yeah, going to be a throw-in for Botkins there off the deflection off of St. John's. Paul will be there with a throw and trying to find Delaney Pitts. She'll cross it over. Top of the area, tackled away, but she'll get it away on the left and score! I believe that was Grace Wiseman, I believe.
Grace Weissman, the senior.
The senior coming up big on the top of the area, being able to fight through the tackle and be able to make it happen, and that will get us to 6-0. And at this point, we will now be in running clock, which is now we'll run through this would be a normal stoppage, but now the clock will run now that we have reached our 6-goal threshold. So the clock will be running. We're now at 23:06, and we'll be running pretty much the rest of the game here, with the exception of injuries. And it is now 6-0 in favor of the Trojans, and it could be more here. As Camden Paul trying to break it down, goes through 2 defenders, could not quite find a third one. Wiseman finding it on the left foot.
Grace did a great job on that last goal. She wanted to go right. She took it right and then switched to her left foot and then punted it in with her left foot. Nice play on her part.
And a great way to break that tackle. She had actually had the ball tackled away and was able to fight through that and actually push that through and then get that, as you mentioned, on her left foot and be able to finish that. So great work there from the senior. Laney Pitts gonna push it through. We'll try to find the cross. Looks like deflected, and that will be in the corner, and that will be a corner kick there for Botkins.
You talked about it, though, with Michael. Camden Paul's the one that stirs the drink here. She's the one, I mean, she draws a lot of attention when she's out there in front of that goal. And when she starts coming down that sideline, and Dee Pitts and Addison Blendauer and even Grace Wiseman, when they're coming down the middle, you don't know. Is she going to go to that top corner, or is she going to kick it to in the middle of the field? And that puts a lot of pressure on a lot of defenders back here.
Gives you a lot of options. Absolutely. You're exactly right. Gives you a lot of options, especially when you get a focus on, on a player like that and being able to distribute the ball as well as they have. And, you've got 3 different, basically now you have 4 different goals, 4 different goal scorers right now and 6 goals. So going well. Now St. John's trying to get it through. Monger she hold it, couldn't find the handle, but it got away from her. Botkins be able to push it out and will put it over the touch line.
Great play by Aaliyah Monin.
Able to clear that out. Aaliyah Monin had to come up big off of. Monger had it, and she could not quite get her hand on it to get it pinned to be able to get that. But luckily, Monin was able to play that out, be able to get that taken care of and keep the sheet scoreless here for Botkins.
We haven't seen Milena Monin, I don't believe, much this half. She was really active in the first half for the Trojans up front, but I see her sitting over on the bench. I don't know if she's got ice on her knee there.
Yeah, she might be hurt. Maybe had a knock there. That very well could be. Also, haven't seen anything from Blendauer since the contact there. Oh. At the ball, and
Weissman just
Weissman went over the frame. It was nice play in there. Actually, Vonderwell got into the challenge. She was meeting up there, and Wiseman was able to get a hold of that. The challenge initially, I'm trying to get her. She hadn't turned around.
Taylor Hulskamp there was the initial challenge.
Got it. Taylor Hulskamp was playing it through. The sophomore, kind of moving into the midfield, was able to get that and got into that tackle there with Vonderwell and create that opportunity, and Wiseman just could not quite swing down and get that on frame and add to this 6-goal lead here. We're at 19:30 and rolling here, second half, 6-0 in favor of the Botkins Trojans. Here, WOSL Soccer, glad to be with you here. Michael Laws along Jeremy Plyman here on NK Telco Sports. Glad you're with us. Oh, looks like we're going to play. Yeah, we're going to play on. No one gain advantage there on the play-in from Delaney Pitts. Looked like it was a handle, but keep that. Looks like Taylor Hulskamp going to go attack the right side. Going to try to cut back on the right. Goes to her left, cuts across the frame. in front of the area there around the penalty spot. Could not find any feet from the Trojans. Kick it back in. And they cross in, trying to find it, and Vonderwell will come in and take care of that. Looks like it was trying to find Wiseman.
It's Chloe Pax from about 50 out there trying to find Grace Weissman.
Yeah, she was coming in. Nice cross there. Got to be good for Coach Murphy to be able to get in some younger talent here, especially looking like you've pretty much kind of got things under control here with the 6-0 lead.
Well, like you said too, Michael, we haven't seen Addison Blendauer since she went down. You're up 6-0. We've talked about tournament coming up around the corner.
Absolutely.
You have to be ready for that, and there's no reason to put Addison back out there when the game is pretty much in hand right now. And you know, let her get over there and get ice on and stuff like that, and get ready to go for the next game.
Yep. Going to be winding up the season here. Only a couple of weeks left, pretty much 2 weeks after this weekend. Through this weekend, we'll have 2 weeks of regular season play left. And then, as we mentioned, the tournament draw probably next weekend around Sunday with most districts. Figuring out where everybody will be going. Usually a lot of Southwest teams that will go to home sites. Usually Botkins, usually are pretty high seed, will usually host a game or two. Usually within their initial play and their sectional and district play.
Trojans at 3-1, looking to go 4-1 here in the WSL behind the Anna Rockets, who were perfect coming into this evening. So
that's always a great rivalry between those two. A couple of Shelby County League foes, especially in both only female soccer programs on both, or excuse me, on Anna's side, excuse me. Botkins having their male side. Looks like Hillscamp trying to find that on her right foot, but was able to put it wide right. And that will get us to 16:35 and rolling here in the second half on the First National Bank scoreboard. It is all Botkins Trojans by the score of 6-0.
Substitutes in for the game for the Trojans now. Number 17, Nora Holman. Number 18, Lily Bayless back in.
Nora Holman, a sophomore. Looks like she'll be coming in more up top, more into the forward position. Lily Bayless listed as a defender, also a sophomore.
Camden Paul out of the game now.
Probably will not, if everything stays the way this is. I don't foresee seeing her much again. I think just for the sheer fact of injury and not risking anything, and also giving some time to some of these younger players here.
It's Aaliyah Monin back in, or excuse me, Milena Monin back into the ball game. We talked earlier, we hadn't seen much, called her much. She was highly involved in a lot of action in the first half.
Really attacking that left side and really creating a lot of havoc there for the Trojans, creating a lot of those opportunities, and actually had the assist on the first Blendauer goal.
Yeah, she had two of them. She had one. Two of the first three for Blendauer.
Yes.
Camden Paul had the other one.
Great plays from there, and now Pitts playing it off to the left side. And cross in, hits a St. John's player. And go into the midfield and see if she'll strike. She'll go low, trying to find the frame, but could not get it in, and back comes St. John's. Lala Jackson, freshman, trying to move it there for St. John's, but unfortunately could not find it. Jackson trying to get back involved, couldn't do so. Playing it back, it was Ava Woodruff they were trying to find there for Botkins. St. John's will come down with it, trying to play it through. Find it on the right side. Attacking the right side, defended. She'll win that battle.
The Trojans have really done a nice job with the Delphos St. John's leading scorer, Ava Hershey. She's got 12 on the evening. They've held her scoreless so far tonight, and actually only taken one shot on goal.
Yeah, she was taking the couple of free kicks, but yeah, that's been about it. I haven't really heard much. They've really kind of stifled her, really contained her, and again, kind of going back to the keys to the game there. Contain their athleticism and keep their forwards in front of our back line, which has been pretty much all night. They've actually been, St. John's has been attacking more Botkins players about every time they've been down the field. It's always been like a 3-on-5 or at least a 3-on-4. Now, St. John's might be able to beat this. Can they keep it in? They could not. Almost was able to track that down, but couldn't find it. Went over the touch line, and then that will bring in some substitutions here and a throw-in on the far side. 13:08 remaining here in second half. 6-0 in favor of the Botkins Trojans here on the First National Bank scoreboard. Botkins pretty much been in control here, scoring early. 3 goals from Allison Blindauer, 1 from Camden Paul, 1 from Grace Wiseman, and 1 from Delaney Pitts.
You know, the Trojans had those 3 goals there in the middle of the first half, Michael. But you felt the one that really broke their back was the one with 8 seconds to go in the first half.
Sure. Absolutely.
Because they felt, I think Delphos St. John's looked like they were playing pretty inspired. Like, hey, we've kept this in range. And then when Camden Paul found the back of the net with 8 seconds left to go in the half, you could kind of see the shoulders shrug and kind of, you know, that one was a heartbreaker.
Yes, for sure. And I think the other one also, to that point, was the one from Delaney Pitts on the Vonderwall going through her legs. Unfortunately, you know, just, you know, something maybe could have had, should have had, you know, definitely to that point as well. So St. John's going to try to attack this. Looks like Lila. They do have it going through, trying to play it through. Can they find the left foot? No! Lila Jackson pushing it through, trying to find Avery Pullman actually in the midfield, and left foot. Monger was able to come up with that and keep it a clean sheet. We'll find Jackson going across. We'll cut it across. And actually, that'll be offside because she came back from an offside position to be able to play that ball. Even though the ball was even, it still got the offside attention, and we'll bring a stop to play here. So 11-11 and rolling here second half. Again, 6-0 in favor of the Botkins Trojans. We are in running clock, or our version, soccer's version of the mercy rule, which is the 30-point rule in football. Ours is 6 goals in the second half. And basketball has theirs similar, as I'm sure you are.
I believe it's 30 points in the second half as well.
Yep. So that's our version. Soccer's version is 6 goals in the second half of the 30-point rule for both football and basketball. So for those unfamiliar with OHSAA soccer.
All of those are kind of new rules put in, what, last 4 to 5 years probably,
Yes.
Michael?
Yeah, there was kind of an kind of a mutual wink a mutual especially when you get into games, you know, that are a little bit out of reach. But yeah, I'm glad that they've at least addressed it, that it, you know, something's concrete so everybody knows. And you know, you really don't gain anything from, you know, with this is out of reach and things of that nature. I do know in some states they actually terminate games when they reach a certain goal threshold.
Which I don't think that's a great idea, because there's still kids out there trying to.
And I agree. I do agree. You know, it just depends on what type of coaching you have and how you approach it, and if you have the proper people in play that understand that, and, you know, are going to play the JV players. And, you know, when you're in a situation like that, when you're, you know, if they do it the right way, I'm in agreement. We need to be playing and having them moving, putting the soccer ball, you know, moving that, and so they can get more reps.
You're exactly right on that. As long as the coaches understand that, hey, it's a good opportunity for the younger kids, the kids who aren't seeing the field as often, to get in there, get some reps and get some time in, you know, and not out there keeping their starters in there for, say, till 30 seconds left to go in the game.
Right. good hunk of the starters, I think, for the most part, are gone here for Botkins. A lot of the younger crew looks like. Maybe a couple here and there, mostly because of the bench size, as Botkins kind of limited on the bench. They can do the best they can, but maybe playing them some kind of unnatural positions, which is not a bad thing. Lila Jackson trying to play it in for St. John's.
And some of those are the positions they'll play next year.
Absolutely.
So it's a great opportunity for Coach Murphy to put those kids and say, hey, this is kind of what we're going to look like next year, you know, coming through. So, but like you said also, neither team has a real deep bench. The Blue Jays, they've got 2 or 3 of their kids who are out hurt, did not even dress for the game today. So their bench is even shorter than the Trojans are. So, you know, it's unlike other sports where you can get your starters out completely. And like you said, we see the Trojans have kind of put some defensive players. They've moved them up on the front line as Taylor Hulskamp takes a shot at goal.
Yeah, she's normally listed as a defender. Well, she's more in the midfield, but yeah, been coming deep from that midfield and attacking that right side. Had a couple of opportunities. She had a nice opportunity. She was actually the created one for Wiseman earlier that she was able to put over the frame. So Hillscamp getting some quality time here on the right side here for Botkins here. 7:30 to go here in the second half. Here on the First National Bank scoreboard. Glad to have you with us here. 6-0 favor Botkins. Looks like Jackson's going to try to win this for St. John's. Nice defensive play. Looks like Aaliyah Manin.
Aaliyah's played really well in that back row when they've needed her. You know, Munger had the one earlier that she kind of mishandled, and Aaliyah cleaned up to say the trash in front of it and got it out of there and was able to, you know, get it to the sidelines and kind of reset the deal for the Trojans.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, I think they really have contained Hershey. Have not mentioned her name a couple of times, mostly on some free kick opportunities, but really Botkins has come to play and really containing that and really not having too many threats. There were some good threats from St. John's early, but unfortunately just could not make it happen.
And there was Hershey involved right there, and Aubrey Tops was kind of all over her as she was coming down the field.
Yeah, I did thought that might have gone out for a corner kick as a deflection, but the referee had said that it went off a St. John's player, so that will bring it to a goal kick here for Botkins. And that will, they keep that in, they will not, and we'll go over the touchline. Trying to chase that down was Nora Homan for Botkins. Trying to keep that in, but could not. She'll be getting some time up there. Sophomore forward / defender. Being marked, it looked like Hershey's going to play it through. And some time, and it will be like Kirsten Jackson trying to beat Botkins there on the one-on-one, but went off the right foot, and that went over the byline, and that will bring it to another goal kick here for Botkins. And 5:15 to go here in the second half. 6-0 in favor of the Trojans here in the First National Bank scoreboard. Glad you are with us here. We'll have another broadcast here later as we will be working a second game here with the boys playing. We'll be working on that here in a little bit as the girls here try to finish up here. Trying to keep that in was number 21, Zoe Longbreak.
For those of you joining us late this evening, you're seeing the Trojans in their pink jerseys instead of their typical black, playing the game for Breast Cancer Awareness Night. For support the local here, Amy Gruey, who's battling breast cancer, and her family. All proceeds from the shirts and donations will go to her and her family as they fight, you know, that deadly disease and that hated disease of breast cancer.
Absolutely. Great cause. And St. John's was on that as well. They were very much into supporting that, and we greatly appreciate the support here of the soccer community.
And you see a lot of teams do those kind of things, and you got to appreciate them, Michael. There's nothing that, we're here in small towns, and a lot of that, you see a lot of small towns will pull behind each and every individual in the community to help them through these times. And this is the Trojans aren't the only ones who've done it. Like you said, Delphos St. John's and, other schools around do that often, especially as we head into October here, Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, some great stuff here for Botkins here. And you mentioned earlier with great example, Camden Paul, only 2 goals away from her own season record and 4 goals away now with a goal tonight, 4 goals away from 100 total goals in her 4-year career here at Botkins.
She'll be the first girl in the Botkins girls program to score 100. She will join Zane Paul, her cousin, with 100 as well. Zane scored 100 there just 3 years ago here, and Camden looking to hopefully join him on that list.
That's fantastic. And I believe you had mentioned that Zane is now playing over at Heidelberg, I believe, as if you had mentioned earlier. So
that is correct.
Playing for the Student Princess, I believe is nickname, if I remember.
That is correct.
I hadn't reffed college soccer in a while, and I've been to Heidelberg numerous times in my referee career.
Very close with Zane, and got a couple other kids up there from Botkins up there, Lydia Dietz, and she just set the school record at, want to give her a quick shout out, set the school record at Heidelberg for score on 18 as she shot a 73 last week. Wow, amazing. Or excuse me, an 83, Michael, 83 on that.
Still
either way, it's
still amazing. That's still amazing.
I'm doing 83 on about 9, maybe.
Yeah, I'm doing that on mini golf. That's what I'm doing. I'm not that talented. So coming back 2-on-1, trying to find Nora Holman. She can find it on her right-hand side. She'll pass it off, try to get it off, almost trying to set her up with a goal. She'll get it on her right foot, trying to play it through. Play it through again.
Trying to find Aubrey Top out there.
And find Audrey Top on the right-hand side. Swing and a miss there.
Sophia Brown.
Play it through. I think they're trying to set up Holman there, which is fine. And almost actually created that. Sophia Brown. Play it, unfortunately give it up, and Lila Jackson will come up with that for St. John's. And then Aaliyah Monin will clean that up and get that out, and we'll bring it in here to the last minute of play. Here, 1 minute remaining. And it has been all Botkins here today by the score of 6-0. And Coach Murphy's got to be very, very pleased with how things have shaken down here in this. And I'm really addressing the keys to the game and addressing that well, in a very, very solid outing here for the Trojans here on their Breast Cancer Awareness Day.
And you talked about that earlier, Michael, shooting from outside. They were taking shots from outside the goal, not get in there where it's all crowded, be aggressive, attack that goal. That was one. And probably his number 3rd one that he had was have fun but play angry. And they kind of came out a little bit once they got rolling. Then that first half there, they played awfully angry and were having fun scoring some goals there in the middle of that.
Yeah, they might get one here for St. John's here at the end. Let's see if they can close it out. 4 seconds remaining. Cannot take the shot. Monger will come up with it and keep it out of the goal, and that will keep the clean sheet, and that will give the win to the Botkins Trojans by a score of 6-0. We will be back. Jeremy and I will be back with final stats, and then we will be back with a player of the game, courtesy of NK Telco. We'll be back with you. Again, your final score here, the Botkins Trojans 6 and the Delphos St. John's Blue Jays 0. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this on NK Telco Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
The Hometown Opportunity Platform is exceptional.
It is focused, laser focused on the careers in our 4-county region.
100% of the time we go to Hometown Opportunity. We've had great success from a handful of applications when we need them, as well as a recent one where we had 67 applicants.
Honestly, it's a competitive advantage.
The Hometown experience has been everything I could have dreamed of and more.
Looking for a rewarding career? Lincoln Electric Automation in Coldwater and Fort Loramie supplies top-of-the-line automation systems to manufacturers. Lincoln Electric Automation routinely develops its team through hiring and by offering advanced technical training. We understand that every employee matters, and every role contributes to the success of our business. We offer advancement opportunities, competitive wages, and benefit packages. Visit LincolnElectric.com and get on track to a better career and a better future.
We are here and here and here. Minster Bank is everywhere, providing every banking service that you need to keep your financial life in order. Whether you are on the go or stopping by one of our branches, Minster Bank is here for you. We proudly support the communities where you live. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Welcome back here to Botkins Community Park here as we have a winner of the Botkins Trojans, our 6-0 winner here over the Delphos St. John's Blue Jays. Very quick announcement here before we get to stats. NK Telco Sports and sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of tonight's high school varsity soccer action on NK Telco Cable and the NK TV app, channel 154, tomorrow at 5, channel 503, October 12th at 6 p.m. and October 13th at 6 p.m. You can also watch more games on demand, YouTube, Facebook, and nktelco.com/sports. And now for our final stats, I'll bring it over to Jeremy.
For the visiting Delphos St. John's Blue Jays, who are now 5-4 on the year in the WOSL, 1-2-1. They had 8 shots on goals, took 4 fouls. They had 1 corner kick for them this evening. For the Botkins Trojans, who are now 7-5-1 on the year, and in the WOSL are now 5-1. They had 22 shots on goals, connected on 6 of those goals. With 4 assists, took 4 fouls and had 4 corner kicks. They had goals in the first half at the 31:20 mark, the 29:09 mark, and the 18-minute mark. All 3 of those by Addison Blendauer. And then at the end there, right at the end of the half, before they went to the half, at the 8-second mark, Camden Paul got her first one. They came out in the second half, and at the 38-41 mark, D.D. Pitts found the back of the goal as it went under the hands of the Vanderwall, the goalie for the Delphos St. John's. And then at the 23:07 mark, the last goal was put in by Grace Wiseman. So pretty nice evening there for the Trojans.
Absolutely. And we have to vote on player of game, and I think that one is pretty easy.
That's going to be Addison Blendauer.
So there you go. 3 goals on the night, 3 first-half goals. Give the nod to Addison Blendauer as our player of the game, courtesy of NK Telco. That will do it here for our game here. As our one final time, the reminder, the winner is your Botkins Trojans, as they are a winner 6-0 here over the Delphos St. John's Blue Jays. For Jeremy Plyman, this is Michael Laws. We were signing off here from Botkins Community Park. Again, your final score, Botkins 6, Delphos St. John's 0. This is NK Telco Sports.